I'm finding reasons now to like what I've done with my value patterns. And I think I like this with the dark and then the light and then the little dark tail sticking out into the light. And part of the reason why I had cropped the photo and connected the side of the cat to the edge when I cropped it was because the cat's looking this way and the tail's pointing this way. And so I knew a lot of the energy of the painting would be going off to the right. So I don't know, maybe I'm just making this up, but I think all the heaviness of the dark values all on the left kind of help with the balance.
It's always good when they look into a piece of space, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the same as with any like more traditional portrait composition, anything that has a face, whichever direction that face is tilted towards, you should always have more space in front of it than behind it. Now, this is a little more extreme. There's this much space in front and this much space behind. But even like with a person, if they're just like sitting in a chair and you're painting them, you know, if they're looking straight at you and their shoulders are straight at you, that's kind of a little different. I rarely do portraits like that. I think they look too much like mug shots. But sometimes even, you know, even if they're looking straight at you, their shoulders are usually turned a certain direction. So whichever way that the body is turned, or even the head, just even a little bit, there should be more room in front of that way that they're facing than behind. If not, like if you do a portrait and you're doing it like, I'll kind of do it this way because I don't have enough room to walk over here. So let's say I'm standing here and this is the opening, this is the painting, and I'm over here and I'm facing this way. You see, I only have like this much room in front of my face and I have all this room behind. But if you do all of this, including the painting behind me, or say, I've seen some paintings like this and they're really amazing. The person might be sitting at a table and they're facing like away from the table, but on the table, at the far end of the table, there's something, you know, there's a vase of flowers or there's a cup of tea or something at the other end of the table. It balances because you're looking not only at the person's face, but you're also looking at that cup at the other end. And so it has like this, like
a counterweight.
Yeah. Yeah. So this might actually make a really interesting portrait, to have somebody standing like this way, but there's a painting on the easel behind them.
Tells more of a narrative, doesn't it?
It does. It's like a little bit daring. I've always tried to be a little bit daring. Well, not always. Most of my small animal paintings are just like typical and safe. But when I'm doing a larger painting or something that's different, I try to be a little bit challenging with my compositions. Like one of the things I like to do is put something smack dab in the middle. Like they say you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put like something smack in the middle. So some of my half-face paintings, I like to see if I could get the eye like right in the middle of the painting. But then it's balanced by the other shapes that are surrounding it being, you know, those shapes are unbalanced in a way. But when painting for so long, you have to do something to amuse yourself, you know. You can't just keep, you know, I do kind of keep painting the same things over and over and over and over again. But when I think of that as, you know, the same things, I'm talking about subject matter. My subject matter has been the same for a couple decades. So when I play around with stuff, I'm playing around with my value patterns, my compositions, you know. I haven't yet played around with color too much. I probably should start to do that next as my next step to do like different sorts of colors or colors that are not so exact to my photos. But anyway, let's get going on.
Are you talking about Impressionism when you're talking about using other colors?
No, not really. Impressionism is more like stroke style, looseness, and light. The Impressionists are more about light. I already consider my work to be fairly impressionistic because of the light. And I like to keep my strokes looser. That would be more impressionistic. Although if you look at any of the exhibits by the American Impressionist Society exhibits, if you go to their site and like look at some of their shows and their catalogs for their shows, some of the stuff I would not define as impressionism. Some of the stuff looks pretty darn tight, but they have a very wide range of definition of impressionism. Mostly it's about the light.
Okay.
I think.
I should know that. Yeah.
But as far as color, I wouldn't really know how to define like color variances. But what I mean by that on a personal level would be to like pre-select my palette, which I hardly ever do. Choose what colors I'm going to use and then use those and not be so strict to the photo, what the photo is.
Okay.
I guess some of my paintings kind of turn out like that. They seem to, because I see a lot of colors. Like I'm looking at this cat right now, and I do see a lot of blues in her coat, in the shadows, purpley blues, and of course I see greens. There's purples and greens. If I push those colors more, I can do that. But it would be more adventurous. Like when I do these couple of things that I've done a couple times now, the chicks, where I'm just these are purely color experiments. And if I did that more often with my regular paintings, that might be something a little more fun and unusual. The problem with that though is that so often my colors are the same. The what?
The optical mixing. You already do a lot of optical mixing, don't you? Where the colours are next to each other. Anyway, which is very impressionistic.
Yeah. But to change up my colors and try some really different color schemes, I have a hard time with that because the business person in me says I would have to start framing them differently. Because all of my frames are either gold or they're dark with gold edges. So I gotta have that gold in my paintings in order for them to look good in those frames. So that's what I run into.
These are black frames with pop art styly color.
Yeah, the more these chicks, the reason why I haven't framed them. Well, actually, I have a master plan, which I don't know if I'll ever get to it. But I want to do like a ton of these. Here's my eventual goal. I don't know. Maybe you guys can keep pushing me towards it. But I want to do a ton of those chicks and all kinds of different color arrangements, different style or different whatever, and put them all into a giant frame that's got the matte openings, little gaps between the matte openings, and have 100 of them or whatever. I don't know. That might be a little bit big. 1, 2, 3. I might have to do whatever is a multiple of a multiple, take a number and times it by itself. So I could do 8, I could do 64, 8 by 8, and frame them all together.
That'd be beautiful.
I thought that would be really cool.
It would.
Like Andy Warhol's cans.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people do that, with pears or apples or stuff like that. They stick a piece of fruit and then they have a light that is they paint it from all different angles of the light, or they start with a blue background, and then it goes through, and the blue background slowly changes to say an orange background or whatever. That's kind of neat, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just stuck in my rut of doing what I'm doing that people want to see. People keep saying, "Oh, can you paint a bunny? Can you paint a cat? Can you paint a llama? Can you paint a squirrel?"
I love that bunny picture that you showed in your post.
Oh, yeah.
Email. Oh, it's so cool.
I'll probably be painting that one. Yeah.
Very clever. Very clever.
Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in here with some